All right, you guys, welcome to this video. The purpose of the video is to give you guys a heads up about nationals. If you're not sure who you're staring at right now, I'm Kenton Claremont. Right there is Brian Austin.
Howdy ho.
And here's the thing: we lowered the standards to qualify for nationals for a couple reasons. One, we wanted people to be able to experience nationals, in bigger groups, and we also thought that it would be a good way to just increase the energy around nationals and give everybody a chance to go out there and experience it. So, but with that comes some responsibility on our side, because nationals is always going to be really tough, and the whole idea behind the national event is to find what we define as the fittest bow hunter in the United States. And in order to do that, you have to have some grueling tests. In the past, we haven't given anybody a heads up. We kind of leaned on the whole idea that you never know what you're going to get in the mountains. You got to be ready for anything. So we didn't give anybody a heads up on what to expect or what they might be doing for the national tournament, just hoping that everybody would prepare for anything, just like they would any kind of backcountry hunt. But this year we feel like it's probably a good idea to let people know, hey, this is at least an idea about what you can expect. We're not going to go over scoring. We're not going to go over things that you're going to be able to maybe strategize around. But we do want to go over the physical components that you're going to be facing on Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to get into some specifics, but we're not going to really dig into the specifics again, like scoring, and we're not going to get into the details of every single movement. We just want to get into what the events and what the days are going to be. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Brian at this point, and Brian's going to kind of walk through let me back up real quick. Let me back up because I kind of skipped over how the standard to get to nationals. This year, all you have to do is get to a qualifier, complete the qualifier, and you can join us at nationals. That's it. And that's why, because it's not simple, but because we've simplified the way to qualify for nationals, we feel like we need to give you a heads up. I'm going to turn it over to Brian. He's going to kind of go over what you can expect for the nationals weekend, and then we'll go from there. So Brian, take it over, buddy.
Awesome.
I love your haircut, by the way. But you guys, Brian, sharp.
You had to bring it up, didn't you?
I did. Give us a little turn. Yes. Sexy.
Very, very hipstery.
It is.
Right.
All right.
It's how we roll.
Yes, buddy.
Okay. So for nationals, as some of you may know, we decided not to do the 24-hour event this year, just because of logistics and the timing and stuff of how things are. The year is passing by a lot faster than what we'd hoped to right now. So with that said, nationals is going to be totally different than what it has been in the years past. We want you going into it knowing that you're going to be active all day on Saturday, where especially this past year, there's a lot of waiting around for your heat and a lot of downtime. This year, it's not going to be that way. We want people to feel as though you're experiencing a day in the backcountry where you're constantly moving, times where you're exerting yourself quite a bit, and doing some shooting. So with that said, registration is going to be open Friday evening. If you just cannot get there Friday evening because of work or travels or whatnot, we will be open, or we'll be up very early Saturday morning probably. And a lot of those details, listen to this and expect some changes between now and nationals, because
that's a good heads up.
Yeah, things are probably going to change, but we just want to get this out on social media so that you guys and gals know when you're at the qualifying events, and we were talking about nationals, you know what kind of is in store for you. Like what Kenton said in store, which is fun, which is cool. But because we're changing things up this year, we really think it's going to be beneficial, at least from a past competitor. I would want to know how to prepare myself and what to have ready for what's in store for this year.
Let me interrupt you for just a second, Brian, to just add to what you said. To add to what Brian just said, you guys, one of the big reasons we want to do this is because we don't want anybody showing up thinking, oh, it'll be kind of like last year about that kind of workload. And then, in the middle of it go, man, if I'd have known it was going to be this format and this much work and, we were going to have, 3 events on day one, I wouldn't have signed up. We don't want anybody showing up thinking thinking one thing and then it's completely way too far beyond, their physical and mental, abilities. And then they're just disappointed and kind of upset at us for not at least giving them, a heads up that we're going to really push the envelope as far as like making that Saturday feel like a really full day in the backcountry. So I just wanted to throw that in there. We just don't want anybody signing up that it's an ability we're trying to give people the ability to self-eliminate and look at themselves seriously and say, am I ready for nationals? And if you don't have any idea what's happening at nationals, you can't make a fair assessment. But with a little information that we're going to provide you today, come the time to decide whether you're ready for nationals or not. I think that everybody out there will have the ability to say, honestly, look themselves in the mirror and say, yep, I'm ready. I can do this. So, all right, go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
And to add on to that, if you're kind of joining in and you haven't listened to our previous podcast about the different categories this year at Nationals, remember we have the elite category and then the age group category. So we can go over that again later on or go back and listen to that podcast we did a couple months ago. But anywho, so Saturday morning, we're going to start pretty early. We're going to start before the sun comes up. So we don't know the exact time yet, but I would say just be ready for somewhere between 3 and 5 a.m. We're going to start the first event. And the first event is going to be a foot race, essentially probably the same path that we took this past year going up the service road to the top of the mountain. It's going to be approximately 5K. It's going to be a light pack. Basically, you're going to have your pack on. It's going to be required to have your pack. You're going to have your bow. And essentially everything you're going to need for the 3D shoot, because we're planning to do the 3D portion at the top of the mountain after this foot race. Basically, the first stage of this event is going to be the foot race to the top of the mountain with a fairly light pack. Probably we're thinking 20 to 30 pounds, because you're going to have to pack food, water, everything that you're going to need for that 3D shoot, because there's going to be no coming down. Once you finish that, the race up to the top, there'll be a brief, you might have a half an hour before you start the 3D course. Again, the details aren't worked out quite, perfect for that. But you're going to have a little break at the top to gather, your thoughts and get some food and drinks and stuff like that. So, want to add anything to that?
No, I think you hit it. It's just, I think it's just important to remember that we're not going to be providing weight for your pack. It's just going to be, we're going to have some things that are going to be mandatory that you have in your pack. We're most likely going to make it mandatory that you have a pack, your bow, basically your shooting setup, like if you were going out for a day, going out for a hunt, and then some water and some food. Now, how much food and how much water you decide to take with you is going to be up to you. But like Brian said, we are trying to set this race up so that you're self-efficient. When you get to the top, you're going to rest, you're going to get some water, you're going to get some food, and then the next event is just 3D shoot. It's not terribly physically demanding, but as you all know, after a pre-exhaust like that, a 3D shoot can be challenging. So we don't really have all the details worked out, like Brian said. Will there be some water available up there? Yes. Will there be some, will there be some things available for those of you that need water or somehow forget your water? We're not going to put anybody at risk, but those are roughly the standards for the event one is pack, bow, food, water, go. We're not going to be providing packs for you. So,
right.
Yeah.
So that's something, strategy wise, probably throwing your pack, practicing with your pack, or I'm sorry, with your bow on your pack. You can use walking sticks if you want, but it's going to be, this past year, the men, we had 100 pounds on our back going up that, and it was taking us, anywhere from around an hour to 2 to 3 hours. So this is going to be a much quicker race because you're going to have fresh legs for one thing, and a very, very light pack compared to last year. So I'm excited for that, and to see how that pans out. And the 3D course, we haven't talked a lot about that, but it's going to be probably very similar to last year, just like the qualifiers. There might be some tweaking with the scoring and stuff, but that's kind of what has been expected in the years past. Yeah. So the timing for that, you could think you'll probably be done with the 3D shoot late morning to, anywhere from that late morning to around noonish. And then we haven't decided if the details aren't worked out yet, if we're going to have the ski lift operating for you guys to bring the lift down, or depending on how Kenton and I are feeling, we just might make you all walk down the mountain. Because there's no ski lifts out in the mountains elk hunting, right?
Oh, unfortunately, there's not. As much as I can think of a lot of hunts where I thought, man, it'd be nice to have a ski lift right now or a helicopter ride.
Right. So we're trying to make this the championship. It's going to be multiple stages, but there might be some work to do in between the stages just to get from A to B. Like we said before a little bit ago, expect to be moving quite a bit. And then Saturday afternoon, we kind of have modified. We took some ideas from what we were thinking about doing with the 24-hour event and have shortened them down and modified them to be part of the championship this year. So we're calling it the Extended Challenge Course / Mountain Course. It's going to be a lap system, a multiple lap system. Expect it to take a couple hours to maybe several hours. We haven't worked out the details, but it's going to be different challenges, running with your pack, shooting. Think of the qualifying events, but in a very extended form of that, where you're active for multiple hours and multiple laps. Yeah. Any details you want to share on that, Kenton?
I think we've given them enough. Really, it's a challenge course, so it's you're going to be exercising, doing a lap, and shooting a target. All with, you'll be throwing some weight, you'll be lifting some weight, you'll be packing some weight. But instead of, a shortened version of that where your run loops are, 400 yards, think more of your run loops being somewhere between 2 and 4 miles. So it's exercise, run or pack and then shoot. I'm excited about it, and I think it's going to be a good test of true endurance and some mental toughness. We are going to challenge you guys with some newfound exercises and some new challenges, and we're going to do our best to keep things interesting and keep you on your toes your best. But like Brian said, expect that last event on Saturday to be somewhere between 2 and 4 hours. That's enough.
And the different lap systems, you might be required to carry a different weighted pack for the different laps that you're going to be doing. But basically, as a competitor preparing for this or looking at what to do, just expect to be very active for probably 2 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Sustained movement. You can obviously take breaks and rest on your own when you think that you need to, but it's going to be, like you said, a challenge, run, shoot, and the run or the pack, I guess we'll call it traversing as quickly as possible. How about that?
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be tough.
It is. It's gonna be. There's some things we still need to mull over and consider. There will be some boundaries as far as like support that you'll have with people being able to like kind of supply you with food and water. We're going to have maybe some staging areas set up so that you have your specific area that you can check into and get water and resupply food or whatever, because 4 hours it's you start getting over an hour and you're going to need to eat during the competition. So we're gonna nail all those things. Don't hit the panic button. Again, we really don't want to be just like pounded with questions. If you have things that maybe concerns or things that you definitely want us to consider when making decisions on support during a 4-hour event, we are going to have some medical people on site, on trail, we're going to take care of you, make sure that you're safe. But it's going to feel like a really long, hard day in the mountains. So just prepare for that.
Because we're starting, like we said, we'll start somewhere between 3 and 5 a.m. Just to kind of summarize Saturday again, starting early Saturday morning with the foot race up the mountain, short break, the 3D course. That's going to put us around the lunchtime, probably hiking down the mountain, and then eating lunch on the fly, or if you have time, once you get down the mountain to base camp, having lunch there. And then we expect to start this extended challenge course early afternoon. Not for sure yet on time, but maybe sometime between 1 and 2 o'clock.
Yeah. And
then wrapping up early evening, probably done by 5 or hopefully by 6 o'clock at the latest Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday is going to be the final stage, right?
Yeah. And you know what? I like you, I can hear it in your voice going, how much do we talk about Sunday, right? We can tell them this. I believe that I think it's fair to tell them that after Saturday, we will be eliminating some of the bottom placers. Basically, in order to make Sunday's event, you have to place in the top 10 in your division, unless you're in the elites, and then all the elites will move to Sunday. But if you go age group, meaning open masters, super masters, senior masters, you will. We're going to eliminate everybody but the top 10 for that final event. So I think that's definitely something that's important to tell them, because we don't want people being surprised by that. But as far as the event goes, we're going to keep that event. I think it's best to keep that a surprise for now. Just let this be a clue.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. As again, as a past competitor, I'm pretty excited. I'm personally bummed that I'm not going to be competing in it, because it's going to be a heck of an event. We're trying to make both Saturday and Sunday, especially on Sunday. That last event is going to be pretty spectator friendly. Yeah. And then, like Kenton said, there's going to be a portion of the competitors that will not be competing on Sunday. And we decided to do it that way so that Saturday evening, everybody's going to know if you're moving on or if not. And then if not, well, then you can hang around and party and enjoy the festivities that we'll be having Saturday night and Sunday, and not be stressed out not knowing if you're going to be competing on Sunday or not.
Yeah. We'll let you know Saturday night. And then, again, you guys, it's just going to be the one event on Sunday. It's going to be in the morning, and we should be, you guys know how it is. Anybody who's been to nationals, any event, we're kind of at the mercy of the mountain a little bit, but we should be wrapped up, awards on, awards given out, prizes given out. I would think no later than early afternoon, 1:00. So for those of you that are traveling, flying, I think it's safe to say that you could probably book a flight, anywhere after 3:00 or so, and you should be able to make it pretty easily. So one event on Sunday, and then an award ceremony, and then we're out of there. So anything else you think we need to let them know, Brian? I think we've given them. I feel funny giving them anything. Like, I'm just like, oh man, we're giving away the whole thing. But I also feel good about it. For people.
Maybe they'll show up for nationals. It'll be completely different than what we just said.
Could be.
I
hope not. I hope not. So a couple things I want to just touch on before we let you go. Anything else, Brian? Before I just kind of wrap this thing up.
Well, there's a lot of things we could talk about, but pertaining to nationals right now, there's a lot of stuff I want to say, but not yet.
Okay.
Yes, ask your questions. Post them on Facebook, post them on Instagram. We'll answer the questions that we think that we can answer without giving too much away. We still want this to be exciting and a little, like, oh, what do they have in mind? Because that's definitely an ingredient to making this a great event. So we'll tell you everything that we think that you need to know so that you are fully prepared to participate.
Yeah. Without giving away all the details. So number one, the nationals event. You'll be able to sign up for the nationals event as soon as the first challenge, outdoor challenge qualifier is complete. I'm going to open that up for those people. If you have not completed a Train to Hunt qualifier, please don't sign up until after you've completed yours, because the one thing you have to do in order to go to the nationals is you have to compete in a qualifying event and finish it. So we don't have any way of really regulating that other than just checking to see who has signed up and make sure that they have qualified already by competing in the qualifier and completing the qualifier. And lastly, like Brian mentioned, make sure that you leave some questions. We'll do a follow-up video with frequently asked questions. If you have anything about the Train to Hunt, you guys, Brian and I are here to make the experience as realistic and as transferable as we can. And we're not twisting our mustaches trying to figure out how we can kill people or injure people. In fact, the thing that keeps me up at night is how can we test people and not hurt anybody, because the most important thing is being able to go to hunt out and do some hunting, and that's the Super Bowl is hunting season. We're still kind of warming up. Even the national championship is just a kind of a warm up and a measuring stick as to how you can anticipate doing in the field come fall. So leave your questions, we'll address them, and I really hope this format is working well because it looks good. It looks good, and I hope that we can continue.
You look good, Ken. I enjoy watching your bald head.
Well, I hope that I didn't blind anybody, because, man, being 45 years old, you just don't have as much hair as you used to. That's all right. Let's keep, slick is sexy, honestly. Slick is sexy these days, Brian. Maybe you ought to try it on.
Keep telling yourself that.
I will. I've been this way for 15 years, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. All right, you guys. Anything else, Brian?
No, I'm good.
All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.